In the modern age, consumerism has taken the utmost interest when it comes to creating works of art and entertainment. People make music that appeals to the general audience. People make movies that will garner attention from the majority. That's just how it is, and there ain't nothing wrong with that, I think. So with that, certain traditional processes don't work anymore. At least for the common man. What am I trying to say? Classical music's kind of boring. I'm not trying to diminish the value of the works of history's greatest composers, but I like anime openings, and since I sold my soul, everything has to connect like that. Classical music composers wrote large musical works that consisted of usually a few movements that told an overarching story throughout. Essentially, it made you feel things while you sat for over 15 minutes. I don't think it's a stretch to say that the modern man does not have the same amount of patience as the classical asshole. So there isn't any classical compositions really blowing up nowadays, aren't there? The only closest thing we have to classical music being popular is soundtracks. But checking YouTube comments, I don't even think that's considered classical. So now rarely do you have large works of music being like published and blowing up. I mean, the only few I could actually name off the dot would be like Roundabout by Yes, Bohemian Rhapsody by Queen. Those type of songs, they're significantly longer than the usual song that you will hear on the pop charts or whatever. They contain different moments in the song that kind of tell a different moment in the story, like rising actions, falling actions, interludes, all that garbage. Many artists would rather just follow the same cookie cutter mold of let's make this song have verse, bridge, chorus, stuff like that. Usually the song will last for about 4 or 5 minutes. Not bad. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. But that does make it that there's very few artists who actually try to follow that classical idea. I'm gonna make this long ass song that tells a whole ass story, and I'm going to try to just make this big piece of work. That's not common anymore. So I'm done rambling. What am I trying to say? So that brings me to the world God only knows. The modern symphony. My nation is gonna be the one. I am not qualified to talk about music theory or anything. I'm not sideways. I'm not polyphonic. I can't tell you why this works the way it does, or if this even scientifically classifies as a symphony, but I appreciate music enough to an extent that I can tell you, hey, this shit's pretty good. This isn't really an anime review, but hot damn, that's some good shit. The premise of The World God Only Knows is kind of repetitive, but in practice, it is just enjoyable and it keeps you engaged. And they had like 3 seasons, so clearly they did something right. But right now I'm just focusing on openings 1 and 3 to be even more precise, because those are the ones that actually follow the idea that I'm trying to present here. In The World God Only Knows, Keima, he's an elite gamer. He plays dating simulators where you have to conquer girls in multiple routes. He just does that as his hobby, but he takes it to heart. That's his lifestyle. He plays these games, finishes them 100% as fast as possible. He's approached by Elsie, who's a demon from hell, who's trying to capture these loose souls that come from hell that usually reside in the hearts of young women. So with that, she conscripts Keima unwillingly, and they're off to go conquer the girls. Whenever he conquers a girl, the hole in their heart from the lack of love gets filled by his love. It makes it to where the loose soul gets released. Elsie captures it, and boom. So like, to get with these girls, he actually has to go through the usual motions of getting to know them, making them take interest in him, do this whole thing, and make them like him. And then when they kiss, soul leaves and they forget everything. Yeah, it's a little give and take. Yeah, you go through this whole arc of knowing these people just for them to forget about you in the end. It's like this repetition where all the progress and character progression from the past few days or weeks even gets erased because you do the thing that fixes the issue, and so all the progress with these characters and events kind of just erased from their mind. And you're the only one who really remembers it. Steins Gate was a good anime. What does this have to do with classical music? Well, because the story kind of centers around spirituality and the afterlife, technically, it kind of gives the people who compose the openings a little bit of like a theme to wrap their music around. In punk rock or emo rock, you will probably have a theme of like, oh, my emotions are torn apart, so I'm going to make a song around that theme. So you use these chords and you use these progressions that insinuate that and just push the narrative that, hey, this is the song about my breakup and stuff like that. I probably just butchered the entire premise of emo and punk rock. So they have this theme of the afterlife and spirituality to wrap around, so it allows them to use things that are common in those type of music. So when it comes to those kind of music, one of the most popular songs about the afterlife or anything spiritual is Hallelujah. So what does Hallelujah have? It has a choir singing the chorus. It talks about how he shall reign forever and ever. So it's talking about specifically God, Jesus, heaven, and it has this triumphant sound to it. So how does that relate to the world God only knows? Well, first of all, God's literally in the name, but I'm not trying to make this religious. They take this approach where they have lots of choral elements where they have people overdubbing each other to make it sound like it's a whole choir singing this, and you hear chimes, you hear instruments that are commonly found in classical orchestras. And I'm not really trying to follow the instrumentation, but it has spiritual sounds, especially Secrets of the Goddess, which begins with the whole choir singing a melody that gets stuck in your head easily. It's amazing. So I'm actually going to focus specifically on the actual structure of the song. So the thing about the structure of the song is that most songs, like I said before, have their beginning, whether it's like an interlude or some people just start straight to the song, you know what I mean? For example, Bohemian Rhapsody has Is this the real life? That's kind of its interlude. So what does the world God only knows have? It has this moment where it's kind of a quiet whispering sound with a couple of electronics in there, and it just slowly eases you into the idea of the world God only knows before it reaches its main chorus / melody, that this is the sound that you will hear that will make you think in your head, oh, the world God only knows. This specific sound will be ingrained in your head and make you think, every time I hear this, Kane was doing something amazing. A leitmotif. So, the world God only knows, it doesn't follow the structure of common music where it does interlude, verse 1, bridge, chorus, verse 2, bridge, chorus, and whatever they want to do for the ending. It doesn't follow that same story, how it has rising actions, climaxes, and falling actions. What it does is that it follows more like the classical idea where here, yes, we do have an overarching rising and falling action. In between those large major plot points themselves, we have miniature arcs going on, kind of like the show itself. The show itself shows Kama constantly going through 3-episode arcs of him conquering these girls. Towards the end of the season, you can say he's grown and learned some things from it, even though, you know, they usually try to show, hey, he's still the same Kama, except for season 3 where he matures a lot more as a character. But through season 1 and 2, he relatively stays the same, but it's really just a larger story arc. See, you're seeing PP brain, you're P brain, you're looking at the season itself as an arc, when in reality season 1 and 2 are just rising actions for season 3. And season 3 ain't even the climax yet, the fucking manga! The music follows suit. The music stretches for 8 minutes, or the third one stretches for 12 minutes. And in that song, it goes through movements of each event that happens. So for example, I'm going to use Secrets of the Goddess because it's like 13 minutes and it kind of exemplifies more of what I'm trying to say. In the first moment, it's the prologue, or what I'll call is the interlude, the beginning song that kind of eases you into the idea that is the world God only knows. And it hits you with the main theme soon after, which is the actual opening. The part that tells you, okay, this is the theme of the world God only knows. This song is supposed to make you feel, oh fuck, season 3, all that shit. Throughout, the song itself has chapters. I'm currently referring to a comment by God of Conquest, which is a guy who literally has an account of Kama himself, so it's kind of funny. I'm not sure if this makes me lose credibility or not, but I'm just using this because it's a better reference than my brain. PP brain, big brain. So, as you can see, each segment of the song talks about an arc of the story, where in the season 3 story, he's looking for specifically these girls, and so for each chapter, as in each arc that he's going through, they have music to accommodate it. They have themes from the theme song itself to accommodate it. So that kind of relates to my example of classical music. And my reference for classical music would be Mozart's Requiem in D minor. which I watched Steins Gate, and I can't really listen to Mozart the same way anymore, but as you can see here, using the most popular upload of Requiem, you have all these acts and movements and different things going on that kind of tell a overarching 50-minute story. Because classical music, fuck you. So with that, you can see that The World God Only Knows follows suit. Even though it's clearly not as long, it's only like 13 minutes, still it tries to kind of smash in your head this classic sound. Oh my god, I'm saying that word so much. Because of the context of what's going on, souls, spirituality, overcoming, it tries to follow suit with its own twist on that structure of music. I'm really trying to sound professional, but it's just I really like these openings, like holy shit. I love listening to the theme Secret of the Gods. It's probably my favorite opening from the seasons. The World God Only Knows, the first opening is still pretty good too, and the second opening is significantly shorter and straight to the point, but they're all really good openings. And the fact that Secrets of the Gods kind of follows this structure of chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, arcs, characters, this music is specifically made for this section of the story. I like it. It's fucking good. And what's interesting as well is that it kind of tries to blend classical music with contemporary music. So since you're dealing with a topic like spirituality and the afterlife, you kind of have to allude a bit to classical themes of choirs, organs, violins, but because it's set in a modern setting, and specifically a gamer, kind of have to add elements of electronics and modern society. So what do? They get electronic sounds, they get synths, they get reverb, they get all these little programs to add sound effects that are electronically produced, which kind of mixes them together. And it's just a perfect blend. It's like a Reese's peanut butter cup. You got the chocolate and peanut butter perfectly proportioned together, shoved in your mouth, and you just enjoy it. The perfect mix of contemporary and classical. If you even care for my opinion on the show itself, which seeing the time that's taking me to record this, it's probably way into the video, and if you sat this long, you were probably hoping to hear my opinion on it. It's a good show. Season 1, Season 2, Season 3, they all kind of follow the same formula where Keima pursues this girl because he was told to. Not saying he's not an active protagonist himself. What usually happens is he seems to be inactive, like Elsie's making him do this, but in the middle of it he gets invested in the person and he feels obligated to help them. He feels sympathetic. He feels responsible. He has the ability to save them from this, so he kind of needs to. It's kind of his duty. Not to mention he has like this collar on his neck that will fucking end him if he doesn't cooperate, but still, you can kind of see that sympathetic side of him come out. You can see that he is not just some brain-dead gamer, he is a human as well. And with that, Season 1, Season 2 follow usually the same formula. Find girl, pursue them, get with the girl, lost soul leaves, they forget about him, bam, next arc. But Season 3 really tries to change it up because the story takes a different turn. Now there's this new faction that's really trying to cause problems is involved, and now instead of pursuing girls just for the hell of it, these factions are actually trying to like harm these girls that he once pursued because they need something from them. So now he's trying to protect them as well, while also trying to stop the main baddies from doing their whole world dominating plan. Don't worry, I'm really doing my best not to spoil. I really did not spoil anything jaw-dropping or major. I'm just telling you the stories. I'm pretty sure if you Google a summary, they're pretty much telling you the same thing I am. So, the story itself, I really enjoy it. I remember putting off the anime for a long time because I thought it was kind of stupid, but then actually watching it, oh my god, I cried at the end. And then I read the manga and it was even better, so it's upsetting they couldn't make a Season 4, but honestly, stopping at Season 3, that's okay. Did it end on a good note? It wasn't the world's greatest note to me. It was not bad. It's just, it did kind of feel unsatisfying because it made me cry. But yeah, it was a good show. So the openings itself, they really just help make the story even better. When I hear that leitmotif from the first opening play, you know Kane was about to fuck shit up, and by fuck shit up I mean he's about to do some like power plays. Honestly, that boy. This was really just an appreciation piece. I wasn't really trying to like make a whole essay about how, oh, the world God only knows is the epitome of anime and its opening is what every artist in music should strive to be. No. I love this show and I really hope more people watch it, and I hope that the people who do watch this video get inspired to pick it up, or if they already watched it, tell me, say something cool like, oh, I fucking love that part. Yeah, I'm trying to start important conversations. No. I just love this show. And I really hope that just hearing me overhype it, just hearing me hype it up, inspires someone to watch it. Alright, that's all I have to say. This was completely useless. Alright, see you. I hear the train a-comin', it's right around the bend, and I ain't seen the sunshine since I don't know when, but I'm stuck in Folsom Prison, and it keeps dragging on. Yeah, the train keeps a-moving down to San Antone.